Chapter 35-38. The inner regions of the Great Desolate Continent were usually very far from each other. Even at his current speed, it would take him over a year to travel from his Golden Dragon King Dragon Palace to the Eternal River. And this was under the condition of using the teleportation array in the middle. Without the teleportation array, it would take at least 7 to 8 years of flight. It is indeed quite far. Azure Dragonbeard Shadow and the others also frowned slightly. Currently the ancestral dragon bloodline was very passive. The group of third-order sovereigns from the ancestral dragon bloodline did not dare to gather together. Once they gathered together and their location was known to the sacred dragon bloodline, the sacred dragon king would immediately lead the powerful warriors over. They would not be a match for them. However, there were also disadvantages to splitting up in this situation. If they were too far away, it would be very difficult to send reinforcements. If they gathered together, they would be afraid of being caught in one fell swoop. If they dispersed, they would be afraid of being defeated one by one. It was very difficult for the ancestral dragon lineage now. Master Golden Dragon King, if our ancestral dragon bloodline gathers all of our power together with the power of the Dragon Palace, perhaps we'll be able to resist the Holy Dragon bloodline. The Green Dragon Whiskered Shadow said. If the Dragon Palace has 3 or 4 third-order sovereigns, we might be able to hold them off if we work together. The Golden Dragon King was silent for a moment before nodding in response. Virtual Shadow, little you, both of you go to the Dragon Palace and communicate with the Dragon Palace on behalf of the ancestral dragon lineage. I'll talk to the other Dragon Kings. 1 year later, based on the situation, if it really doesn't work, we'll join forces. The Golden Dragon King continued. Yes, Senior Golden Dragon King. Let's go to the Dragon Palace right now. Azure Dragon Moon nodded. Go, be careful. The Golden Dragon King waved a hand, and the Azure Dragon Shadow and Azure Dragon Moon bowed toward him. Then he bowed to the surrounding experts and left immediately. I hope the strength of the Dragon Palace will not disappoint us. The Golden Dragon King murmured to himself. Azure Dragon's whiskers rushed to the Dragon Palace after they left. In other places, the experts and disciples of the ancestral dragon bloodline were gathered in the Dragon Palaces of various third-order sovereigns. According to the situation, they would deal with the sacred dragon bloodline's next attack. In the Dragon Palace at the Eternal River of Heaven, Wang Xian's eyes flickered when he received the replies from Green Dragon Beard Shadow and the rest. The current situation of the ancestral dragon bloodline was indeed a little complicated. They did not have a strong base and did not have the combat power to contend against the Holy Dragon King. He couldn't gather them together, nor could he scatter them. He could only act according to the situation a year later. Then let's wait for a year. Wang Xian murmured. Now the Dragon Palace was in a passive position. They could not go to the Light God Mountain, so they could only wait for the other party to attack first. However, the spiked dragons of the Dragon Palace would be scattered in the surrounding areas, monitoring every movement around the Dragon Palace. A year's time was very short. 10 months later, at the Radiant God Mountain, the son of the Divine Dragon stood before a divine hall. He stood in the middle, and around him stood 10 middle-aged men with terrifying auras. They were the pinnacle experts of the sacred dragon bloodline. The sacred dragon king sat on the throne in front of the temple, looking at his son with dignity. Imperial Father, in this expedition, I will definitely subdue the divine dragon bloodline. Those who submit to the holy dragon bloodline will prosper, and those who oppose us will die. Sun Xinglong cupped his hands respectfully. The ancestral dragon leader has already been eliminated by my father. Leave the rest to me. Ah, good. Leave the rest to my son. The sacred dragon king laughed heartily as he spoke. Imperial Father, wait for my good news. Sun Xinglong said confidently. This time he would lead 10 third-order universe sovereigns from the sacred dragon bloodline into the expedition personally. He would eliminate all those who resisted. He wanted the sacred dragon bloodline to unify the divine dragon tribe. I will wait here for your good news. The Life Dragon King said with a smile. Yes. Sun Xinglong immediately replied as he swept his gaze across the experts around him. Let's go. Our first target is that old man in seclusion. I want to kill him personally. Sun Xinglong said confidently. Alright, this time we will follow you and help the Dragon King conquer the Divine Dragon tribe. The group of experts from the Sacred Dragon bloodline smiled faintly and flew out immediately. Outside, 42nd Order Universe sovereigns followed suit as they flew out. Today was the 10th month since the Sacred Dragon bloodline announced the unification of the Divine Dragon tribe. It was also the last 2 months before they decided to take action. Sun Xinglong set off now because he had found a target. An expert from the ancestral dragon bloodline that had been in seclusion for millions of years. A third-order universe sovereign from the ancestral dragon bloodline. He wanted to kill this third-order universe sovereign to start the war for the sacred dragon bloodline to unify the divine dragon tribe. He wanted to warn the disciples of the divine dragon tribe that those who submitted would prosper, and those who opposed would perish. Sun Xinglong led the experts from the sacred dragon bloodline to launch an attack. In front of him, a dragon head ruler appeared out of nowhere. The entire ruler emitted dense radiance energy. As long as there was light, the ruler would be able to find experts with the divine dragon bloodline. This treasure was given to the sacred dragon bloodline by the King of Angels. There were originally two, and they were known as the Seeking Dragon Ruler. It was a pity that one of them had been lost by that trash from the 100 City Alliance. It should have been obtained by the Dragon Palace. However, this was not a big deal as they still had a mother ruler. Sun Xinglong and the rest flew swiftly above the mainland, using radiance energy to conceal themselves. Time passed slowly, and 2 months passed in the blink of an eye. 2 months later, exactly 1 year had passed since the sacred dragon bloodline's announcement. In the sky above a huge lake, Sun Xinglong and the rest slowly appeared. They looked at the lake below, and their faces were filled with coldness and awe. The lake below was called the Crouching Dragon Lake. When the divine dragon tribe was still around, this was the residence of the Dragon Palace's Dragon King. After the divine dragon tribe perished, this place was occupied by another tribe, an advanced tribe, the Aqua Cloud tribe. The entire lake was shrouded in mist, and the mist was filled with mystery. Sun Xinglong knew that the Aqua Cloud tribe had been subdued by the expert from the ancestral dragon bloodline, and that expert was currently in seclusion at the deepest part of the Crouching Dragon Lake. Kiki, I'll kill you first to warn the rest of the experts with the divine dragon bloodline. Sun Xinglong chuckled, and signaled to the experts from the sacred dragon bloodline. In the next instant, 10 third-order universe sovereigns, and over 20 second-order universe sovereigns all roared in unison. They roared in unison and transformed into their divine dragon forms. A wave of terrifying pressure engulfed the area below. Chapter 35-39, Boom Boom Boom. The sky above the water cloud race was instantly enveloped by a terrifying aura. There were 10 third-order universe sovereigns and over 20 second-order universe sovereigns. With so many experts hovering in the air, just the aura alone was enough to evaporate the clouds above the Crouching Dragon Lake, disappearing without a trace. A terrifying pressure rushed down from the sky. The lake water started to churn and rumble. The terrifying aura caused everything in the surroundings to seem to solidify. With 10 third-order universe sovereigns sealing off an area, even 2 or 3 third-order universe sovereigns would not be able to escape. In a battle of the same realm, 3 against 1 would not even give the opponent a chance to escape before they were killed. Furthermore, according to the news that the Holy Dragon Prince and the rest received, the expert from the ancestral dragon bloodline was in seclusion here. This was the Dragon Palace of the ancestral dragon expert. Lord, did our water cloud race offend you? If we did, we are willing to compensate. Within the Crouching Dragon Lake, when the terrifying aura rushed downwards, the disciples within the water cloud race held their breaths. Some of the weaker disciples even died on the spot. 5 figures from the water cloud race flew out of the lake, their faces covered in cold sweat as they shouted in fear. The water cloud race had half a human's body and half a fish's body. They looked a little like mermaids. They laid on the surface of the water respectfully. Under the pressure, they were filled with fear. Get that Jia from the ancestral dragon bloodline to come out. Today, the Holy Dragon Prince is here to take his head. The Holy Dragon Prince's gaze swept across the 5 water cloud race experts as he barked. Huh. When the 5 water cloud race experts heard this, their pupils constricted. They raised their heads to look at the Holy Dragon Prince and the group of divine dragons and dragon breeds emitting terrifying auras, and their faces changed. Lord Holy Dragon Prince, this is the territory of our water cloud race. There is no expert from the ancestral dragon bloodline here. The elder in the middle of the water cloud race said respectfully, Haha, not coming out? If you don't come out, I will annihilate your entire water cloud race today. When the Holy Dragon Prince heard their words, his face was filled with a cold expression. He extended his arm, and his arm turned into a terrifying dragon claw as he slashed towards the 5 water cloud race experts. No. The 5 experts from the Water Cloud clan were merely at the First Order Universe Sovereign realm. Sensing Sun Sheng's attack, their faces revealed looks of despair. Boom. However, before they could react, the light dragon claw landed on their bodies and instantly obliterated them. At the same time, the radiant dragon claw attacked the crouching dragon lake at a terrifying speed. Lord Holy Dragon Son, we really don't have the ancestral dragon powerhouse that you mentioned. At the bottom of the crouching dragon lake, a few hundred figures blocked the terrifying dragon claw and shouted loudly. If not, then I'll annihilate your Water Cloud clan. Sun Xinglong's eyes were filled with disdain and killing intent. He looked down as though he was looking at a bunch of ants. He immediately transformed into his divine dragon form and said, "A bunch of reckless fools. Today I will exterminate your entire clan. Sun Xinglong, you're courting death." At this moment, a violent voice came from below, and a terrifying figure with a sky-blue dragon's head and a special fishtail flew out from inside. He had a huge body that was tens of thousands of meters long, and his body emitted blue light. "Aha, Jia of the ancestral dragon bloodline. You're really here." Sun Xinglong laughed maniacally when he saw the figure that flew out. The ancestral dragon bloodline powerhouse, Jia, looked at the group of radiant divine dragons and dragon species in the sky, and his eyes narrowed. "Sun Xinglong, what are you trying to do? Are you trying to become enemies with the ancestral dragon bloodline?" He stared coldly at Sun Xinglong and roared. "Jia, have you turned stupid after being in seclusion? The war between the sacred dragon bloodline and the ancestral dragon bloodline has already erupted for more than 1,000 years. Your ancestral dragon leader has already been annihilated by my father. Ahaha, you want me to become enemies with the ancestral dragon bloodline? What a joke." When Sun Xinglong heard his words, he couldn't help but laugh out loud. "That's impossible. How can our ancestral dragon leader be a traitor like you? How can that lackey of the sacred dragon king kill him?" Jia roared in a low voice with a face full of belief. However, just as he finished his sentence, he heard the voice of the Water Cloud clan's leader. The voice rang in his mind. When he heard the news, his expression changed drastically. "That's impossible. How can our ancestral dragon leader be killed by the sacred dragon king?" He roared in disbelief. As he had been in seclusion, the Water Cloud clan couldn't disturb him. Therefore he had just received the news. This was unbelievable to him. The Lord Ancestral Dragon Leader was actually killed by the Sacred Dragon King. Don't worry. It won't be long before all of the Ancestral Dragon bloodline will accompany your Ancestral Dragon Leader. Jia, I'll give you a chance to choose. Submit to the Sacred Dragon bloodline or die. Sun Xinglong roared with a maniacal smile. Submit to you? Submit to traitors and lackeys like you, a thing that has tarnished the bloodline of the Divine Dragon? Jia's eyes turned red as he stared at Sun Xinglong and roared malevolently. You're courting death. Since you've chosen death, I'll fulfill your wish. Today I'll personally kill you. Sun Xinglong had a stern look in his eyes. He swayed his huge body and attacked Jia. One-on-one. If you can withstand it, I'll only take your head. If you lose one-on-one, I'll annihilate the entire Water Cloud clan. Let's fight. Sun Xinglong roared. He opened his mouth and the Khanate Cardinal Treasure pair of dragon eyes appeared in front of him. His body shook again. A radiant mountain peak that emitted a terrifying aura appeared above his body. The mountain peak also emitted a terrifying aura. 2 Khanate Cardinal Treasures. These were the Khanate Cardinal Treasures that the Sacred Dragon King had given him. With 2 Khanate Cardinal Treasures, the Sun Xinglong was basically invincible. 2 Khanate Cardinal Treasures. When Jia saw the pair of dragon eyes and the radiant mountain peak, his heart raced violently. His eyes revealed an unusually embarrassed look. He was a pinnacle dragon species and his combat power wasn't any weaker than the light divine dragon. However, he didn't have a terrifying Khanate Cardinal Treasure weapon. With such a weapon one could kill someone of the same level. Yet he had 2 of them. Kill. However, at this moment he also knew that his rejection meant that he would definitely die today. However, he didn't want the Water Cloud clan to be implicated. He was filled with the will to die and charged forward. He fought with his life on the line. Chapter 3540. Jia, even if you put your life on the line you will still die today. Today, I will use your head to sound the horn of your ancestral dragon bloodline's destruction. I will sound the horn of our sacred dragon bloodline unifying the divine dragon tribe. Sun Xinglong laughed maniacally when he saw Fang charging towards him. With 2 Khanate Cardinal Treasures, he was not afraid of anyone at the same level as him. One had to know that even a true universe ruler might not have a Khanate Cardinal Treasure. The reason why the sacred dragon bloodline had so many Khanate cardinal treasures was because the angels had lent them to them. Otherwise, how could they have so many Khanate cardinal treasures? Saint Peak suppress. Seeing the incoming Fang, the son of the holy dragon waved his dragon claw and the radiant mountain peak immediately emitted a ray of light. The light instantly shone on the sky above Xiaya. Above him, a mountain peak slowly formed. Heavenly water dragon explode. When he saw Sun Xinglong directly using a primordial cardinal treasure, Jiya's expression turned extremely ugly. He instantly executed his nomological Dharma idol to counterattack. Holy Dragon Angel slay. When Sun Xinglong saw him display the nomological law Dharma idol, he also immediately displayed it. Dragon Ball. Fang Ye roared and spat out a water dragon pearl, which headed straight for the Holy Dragon Angel. Boom. A terrifying sound of collision could be heard, but the shadow of the radiant mountain peak was still forming above Yaya. Suppress. When Sun Xinglong saw this, his face revealed a sinister expression. As the most outstanding son of the Sacred Dragon King, he was second only to the Sacred Dragon King in terms of resources. With his strength, even without relying on a Khanate cardinal treasure, he could be ranked third in the Sacred Dragon lineage. The second one was an old official who followed his father. However, with the primordial cardinal treasure, he was the strongest person apart from his father. With Jiya's strength, even if he didn't rely on a Khanate cardinal treasure, Prince Xinglong had the confidence to suppress him. Not to mention that he had the support of these two Khanate cardinal treasures. A radiant mountain peak immediately appeared above Ya. This radiant mountain peak seemed to be able to follow him like a shadow, slowly suppressing his body. Jiya's expression changed drastically and his eyes were filled with fear. Haha, you want to resist? You're not qualified. I'll kill you in 3 moves. Sun Xinglong looked over with a cold glint in his eyes. He slowly raised his dragon claws, and the pair of dragon eyes in the sky glowed. A ray of light fell on Kuya's body, causing his body to tremble slightly. No. Disciples of the Water Cloud clan run. Jiya's face was filled with despair when he saw Sun Xinglong using the second primordial cardinal treasure. Not good, not good. Our Lord Fang isn't a match for this holy dragon son. He has 2 innate cardinal treasures. Run? How can we escape? The other side has 10 third-order universe sovereigns guarding the area. All disciples enter the blessed heavenly lands. Down below, the experts and disciples of the Water Cloud clan trembled as they watched the battle in the sky. Their faces were filled with despair. Their Lord Fang is completely not this dragon Sun Sheng's match. The twin dragon eyes imprisonment and the Saint Peak suppression landed on Xiaya's body. His body slowly began to crumble. What happened over there? What's going on? What's going on over at Crouching Dragon Lake? What a terrifying aura. The battle around Crouching Dragon Lake, as well as the terrifying might that erupted from it, attracted the attention of some of the surrounding creatures. They looked over and their faces were filled with shock. The aura over there was definitely not something an ordinary universe sovereign expert could unleash. At this moment, a sorrowful roar resounded. It represented the fall of the ancestral dragon bloodline's third-order universe sovereign, Xiaya. Another third-order universe sovereign expert had died. Haha, a peak-grade dragon species, this dragon son can easily kill it. Sun Xinglong looked at Xiaya's corpse and laughed maniacally. His gaze turned to the Water Cloud clan below. Exterminate the Water Cloud clan for me. He roared and gave the order to exterminate the entire clan. Sun Xinglong. The group of experts from the sacred dragon bloodline responded loudly. They opened their dragon mouths. Boom. A wave of light surged downwards. The lake water evaporated rapidly, and everything below started to melt. The buildings of the Water Cloud clan appeared, but in the next second they disappeared. The blessed heavenly land that could defend against third-order universe sovereigns also started to crumble. Within the blessed heavenly land, all the disciples and experts of the Water Cloud clan revealed looks of despair. They couldn't block it at all. Boom. A low rumble resounded. A powerful high-level clan was easily wiped out. 20 over experts from the sacred dragon bloodline flew downwards, collecting Xiaya's divine kingdom and the treasures of the Water Cloud clan. Xinglong Zi was full of smiles as he looked at the Yaya corpse in front of him. He took out the Universe AI and took pictures before uploading them to the Universe AI. Sun Xinglong, 1 year has passed. I, Sun Xinglong, will lead the experts from the Sacred Dragon bloodline to unify the Divine Dragon clan. Those who submit will prosper, those who defy will perish. The ancestral dragon bloodline's third order universe sovereign, Xiaya, was easily beheaded by me. Very quickly, a message was sent out on the AI. A message from Sun Xinglong. When this message, along with Xiaya's corpse, was sent out, it caused a huge uproar. The sacred dragon bloodline had announced a year ago that they wanted to unify the divine dragon clan. Now that 1 year had just passed, Sun Xinglong had directly killed a third order universe sovereign from the ancestral dragon bloodline. This was too terrifying. Is this real or fake? Is this impossible? A year has just passed, and Sun Xinglong has already killed a pinnacle expert from the ancestral dragon bloodline. The sacred dragon bloodline's road to unifying the clan is about to begin, right? The sacred dragon king didn't even make a move. Just Sun Xinglong and his men killed a third order universe sovereign? Too strong. The battle to unify the sacred dragon bloodline is about to begin. How will the experts from the ancestral dragon bloodline deal with it? Killing a pinnacle expert from the ancestral dragon bloodline at the start, the sacred dragon bloodline is determined to win. On the AI, all the experts and disciples from the various races were filled with shock when they saw Sun Xinglong's message. That was a third order universe sovereign. Such an expert was definitely a top-tier expert in the universe. As long as the peak races did not appear, they were invincible. They were also the ultimate force of the high-level races. However, a year had just passed and the son of the holy dragon from the sacred dragon bloodline had already killed one? How terrifying. One could foresee that the sacred dragon bloodline was determined to win this battle. After all, even King Xinglong hadn't made a move, and they already had such a result. Chapter 3541, Holy Dragon Son, where's our next target? In the air above the water cloud race, Xinglong's face was full of smiles as he looked at the universe's AI. It didn't take long for the sacred dragon bloodline's experts to fly over and ask questions. Next target. Holy Dragon Son's eyes flashed. He had quite a bit of information in his hands. He even knew where the dragon palace of the 3 third order sovereigns was located. He was confident that he could easily wipe them out. As for the others with the dragon-seeking ruler, they wouldn't be able to escape. Our next target is the dragon palace. Since they were able to destroy the 100 Cities Alliance, they should have 3 or 4 third order sovereigns. Let's start with them. After wiping them out, there should be some fellows from the ancestral dragon bloodline who will join our sacred dragon bloodline. The son of the holy dragon said with a smile, our target is the dragon palace. This is also to prevent them from escaping. Before they escape, we will destroy them. Who knows, they might be preparing to escape. An old man from the sacred dragon bloodline said with a smile. That's possible. An expert from the holy dragon bloodline chuckled. The holy dragon prince killed a third order sovereign realm expert so easily. The dragon palace must be terrified. Regardless of whether they escaped or not, they are our next target. This expert from Dragon Palace killed a few purebred divine dragons of our sacred dragon lineage. This time I will take the head of the Dragon King from Dragon Palace. Holy Dragon's son laughed coldly and looked to the front. Let's go, we'll set off immediately. Yes. The group of experts from the sacred dragon bloodline replied. Compared to the ancestral dragon bloodline, they did not place the Dragon Palace in their eyes. Holy Dragon's son chose to wipe out the Dragon Palace first because he wanted to intimidate the disciples of the ancestral dragon bloodline. Because the ancestral dragon bloodline had split up, many disciples did not have a strong sense of belonging to the ancestral dragon bloodline. At this time, destroying the Dragon Palace to establish their prestige would allow more divine dragons to join the sacred dragon lineage. The sacred dragon bloodline was very welcoming towards dragons with the divine dragon bloodline. Flying from the crouching dragon lake to the eternal heaven river would take at least a few decades. Even if they used the teleportation array, it would still take more than a year. Now, Sun Xinglong was worried that the Dragon King of Dragon Palace would be too cowardly and lead the experts and disciples of Dragon Palace to escape. Dragon King, 2 green dragons are here to pay their respects. Just as Sun Xing and the group of experts were rushing towards the Dragon Palace, 2 guests arrived at the Dragon Palace. Azure Dragon Whisker Shadow and Azure Dragon Moon. It took them more than a year to get here from the Golden Dragon Palace. Upon hearing Prime Minister Turtle's report, Wang Xian was shocked. 2 Azure Dragons, they must be the Azure Dragon Beard Shadow and the Azure Dragon Moon. The 2 of them did not inform him of their arrival in advance. Let them in. Wang Xian ordered. Prime Minister Turtle nodded. Soon, Azure Dragon Whisker and Azure Dragon Moon entered. Dragon King. When they arrived at the Dragon King Hall, both of them cupped their fists towards Wang Xian. Brother Su Ying, Brother Qing Longyue, there's no need to be so polite. Wang Xian looked at them and said with a smile. In the Divine Dragon Clan, the strong rule. Brother Wang Xian has already broken through to the Third Order Universe Sovereign Realm. It's only right for us to do the same. Moreover, we are here on behalf of the Ancestral Dragon Bloodline. Azure Dragon Beard Shadow said with a smile. On behalf of the Ancestral Dragon Bloodline? Wang Xian raised an eyebrow. Dragon King, there has been bad news from our Ancestral Dragon Bloodline recently. I believe Dragon King already knows that one of our Third Order Universe Sovereigns, Jia, was killed by Sun Sheng and the rest. Azure Dragon Beard Shadow took a deep breath and continued, we are here on the orders of one of our Golden Dragon seniors. Now that the Ancestral Dragon Bloodline is no longer a match for the Sacred Dragon Bloodline, especially the Sacred Dragon King, our Golden Dragon seniors want to see if we can join forces to deal with the Sacred Dragon Bloodline. Join forces to deal with the Sacred Dragon Bloodline? That's totally possible. Upon hearing their words, Wang Xian nodded his head immediately. The Sacred Dragon Bloodline wants to unify the Divine Dragon Clan. Those who submit to them will prosper, and those who oppose them will perish. Since we are going to perish together, let's join forces to deal with them. Dragon King, our Golden Dragon seniors have the same idea. However, there's one thing we can't be sure of. If we join forces, we will be able to withstand the attacks of the Sacred Dragon Bloodline. Azure Dragon Beard Shadow said, the reason why the experts of the Sacred Dragon Bloodline haven't joined forces is because we aren't confident of dealing with the Sacred Dragon King. Once we join forces, we might be wiped out in one fell swoop. If we join forces, dealing with the Sacred Dragon Bloodline will be a piece of cake. Upon hearing his words, Wang Xian replied confidently. Given the current strength of the Dragon Palace, Wang Xian dared to clash with the Sacred Dragon Bloodline. If the experts of the Ancestral Dragon Bloodline were to join forces, he was confident of suppressing and even defeating the other party. Azure Dragon Shadow, Azure Dragon Moon, was surprised to see Wang Xian's confident expression. In that case, we will send the news to our Golden Dragon seniors. As for the specific details of the alliance, we will need Dragon King to discuss it with our Golden Dragon seniors. Azure Dragon Beard Shadow said. Wang Xian nodded his head. Wang Xian felt that it would be easy to deal with the Sacred Dragon Bloodline by joining forces with the Ancestral Dragon Bloodline. The only problem would be if the Angel race would send some of their affiliated high-level races to assist the Sacred Dragon Bloodline. There were many affiliated high-level races under the Angel race. The Sacred Dragon Bloodline had only recently attached itself to them. Among the affiliated races, there were some that were comparable to the Sacred Dragon Bloodline, and some were even stronger. After all, the rise of the Sacred Dragon Bloodline wasn't long ago. The former leader of the Ancestral Dragon might have thought of this as well. This was probably one of the reasons why he didn't gather the disciples of the Ancestral Dragon experts. The other experts of the Ancestral Dragon also understood this. However, with the situation at this stage, some considerations couldn't be considered anymore. Dragon King, please get on the Universe AI. Our Golden Dragon seniors and the other experts would like to communicate with you on the Universe AI. Soon, Azure Dragon Moon said to Wang Xian. Alright. Wang Xian nodded his head, and Azure Dragon Moon pulled him into a group chat. There were 15 people in it. Wang Xian's mind entered the Universe AI. The scene before him changed and he appeared in a special space. Welcome Dragon King. In the space, there were 13 illusory figures of divine dragons and other dragon species. When they saw Wang Xian, they greeted him. Greetings, Dragon Kings of the Ancestral Dragon Bloodline. Wang Xian swept his gaze across. There were 5 pinnacle dragon species and one of them was a berserk dragon. There were purebred divine dragons of metal, wood, water, fire, earth, wind, thunder and darkness. However, there was no light divine dragon. Chapter 3542. Greetings, Dragon King of Dragon Palace. The 13 pinnacle experts of the Ancestral Dragon Bloodline greeted Wang Xian. Dragon King, I heard from Azure Dragon Shadow and Azure Dragon Moon that you are confident of defeating the Sacred Dragon Bloodline if we join forces? The Golden Dragon looked at Wang Xian and asked. That's right. I'm confident with our Dragon Palace and all of you. Wang Xian looked at the Golden Dragon and nodded. He continued, Dragon Kings of the Ancestral Dragon Bloodline, Can you tell me how many Third Order Universe sovereigns the Sacred Dragon bloodline has? The Sacred Dragon bloodline should have 19 Third Order Universe sovereigns. Our ancestral dragon bloodline has 13. 2 of them are uncontactable. One was killed by the son of the Holy Dragon not long ago. One of the demonic dragons in the center replied, other than that, the Sacred Dragon King of the Sacred Dragon bloodline cannot be compared to an ordinary Third Order Sovereign Realm expert. According to the information sent to me by our ancestral dragon leader, the Sacred Dragon King has 4 to 5 primordial treasures. Most of them were given to him by the angel race. Also, there's another piece of bad news. Our leader has 2 innate cardinal treasures. They should be in the hands of the Sacred Dragon King. The berserk dragon beside him answered. So many innate cardinal treasures? Wang Xian was taken aback when he heard the news. What the heck? There were 6 to 7 innate cardinal treasures? The terror of innate cardinal treasures was still fresh in Wang Xian's mind. These things were strange. There was only 1 innate cardinal treasure in the entire Dragon Palace, and it was in the hands of Tianzhen. The source of curses, the Devil's Corpse, was extremely strange. And the Sacred Dragon King had so many of them? This caused him to frown slightly, and a trace of seriousness appeared on his face. There are quite a few, but we don't know if the angels have taken them. If they haven't, the Sacred Dragon King's strength is terrifying. However, it will be difficult for a Third Order Universe Sovereign to control 3 to 4 innate cardinal treasures. The Green Dragon said. Dragon King, are you confident? The Golden Dragon emphasized his question again. Yes. Wang Xian nodded. Although the Sacred Dragon bloodline had more innate cardinal treasures, he was still confident. After all, there were 13 Third Order Universe Sovereigns in the Dragon Palace. There were also himself, the Water Tentacle King, Sky Formation, and other extraordinary experts. Wang Xian still had the confidence to fight against the Sacred Dragon King. The eyes of the Dragon Kings of the ancestral dragon lineage flickered. In addition, there is a blessed grotto heaven under the eternal heaven river of our Dragon Palace. That blessed grotto heaven can withstand the attack of a true universe ruler. Wang Xian added. Oh. It's extremely rare to find a paradise that can withstand a true ruler's attack. The Fire Dragon King was slightly taken aback. All of them looked at each other and said, however, one of our ancestral dragon leader's innate cardinal treasures can greatly weaken the power of a formation like the Blessed Enclave, so, as the Fire Dragon King spoke, its expression turned ugly. Upon hearing their words, Wang Xian was slightly speechless. Is that even possible? I'm not worried about the Holy Dragon bloodline. What I'm worried about is whether the other subsidiary races of the angels will help the Holy Dragon bloodline, said Wang Xian. The group of Dragon Kings from the ancestral dragon's lineage was a little silent because they knew about this as well. Wang Xian looked at them. From the looks of it, he couldn't place too much hope on them. How about this, everyone? I think we can gather together and come to my Dragon Palace, he said directly. Anyway, you guys don't have any good ideas. If you are found one by one, you won't be able to resist at all. If we gather together, we can also resist. Gathering together concerns the life and death of the entire ancestral dragon lineage. Let's think about it. The group of experts from the ancestral dragon lineage looked at each other. They couldn't be sure immediately. All right. If everyone is willing to join forces, let me know. Wang Xian nodded and exited the chat. Can this Dragon King be trusted? Seeing Wang Xian's figure disappear, the Water Dragon King looked at the Golden Dragon and asked. It shouldn't be a problem. The Dragon Palace killed a few light divine dragons and annihilated the 100 Cities Alliance. I don't think they have joined forces with the Holy Dragon lineage, the Golden Dragon said. I don't think so. I've done some research on this Dragon Palace. They have always been on our side. The Wind Divine Dragon among them said. Then should we gather together? Lei Long looked at them and asked again. The group of experts from the ancestral dragon lineage frowned slightly. This was a decision that concerned the life and death of the entire ancestral dragon lineage. They didn't dare to make a decision blindly. Once they made the wrong decision, they would have to pay the price of the entire ancestral dragon lineage. Now that the leader of the ancestral dragon lineage was dead, they had lost their backbone. No one wanted to be the sinner of the entire ancestral dragon lineage. Wang Xian exited the chat space of the peak experts of the ancestral dragon lineage and shook his head slightly. The death of the leader of the ancestral dragon lineage was a huge blow to them. Moreover, they hadn't gathered together for a long time and none of them could take charge of the overall situation. Although every peak expert of the ancestral dragon lineage could take charge of the overall situation, they didn't dare to make a rash decision on such a matter. Wang Xian didn't say anything either. This was up to them. What he needed was a strong ally that he could trust. Moreover, it didn't matter to the Dragon Palace even if they didn't have the ancestral dragon lineage as an ally. If war really broke out, the Dragon Palace wouldn't be afraid. Prime Minister Turtle, pay attention to the various movements of the sacred dragon lineage. If the peak experts of the ancestral dragon lineage are killed, the experts of the ancestral dragon lineage might not be able to sit still. Wang Xian ordered Prime Minister Turtle. Yes, Dragon King. Prime Minister Turtle nodded. There's a city ahead. Teleport directly through the city. Time passed day by day and Sun Xinglong and the rest were rushing towards the Dragon Palace. They looked at the information on the universe AI and flew towards the city ahead. With Sun Sheng as the leader, the experts of the sacred dragon lineage flew directly towards the city. They exuded an extremely terrifying aura. When they arrived in the sky above the city, the experts in the city finally reacted. Welcome, lords of the sacred dragon lineage. They saw the group of Sun Sheng and the rest with dragon horns on their heads and greeted respectfully. We want to use the teleportation formation. An old man from the sacred dragon lineage said plainly. Lords, please use it. The experts in the city didn't dare to have any objections and immediately led them to the teleportation formation respectfully. Chapter 35-43, Buzz. Seeing the experts of the sacred dragon bloodline leave through the teleportation formation, the experts in the cities heaved a sigh of relief. They wiped the cold sweat off their foreheads. Just now they were also extremely nervous. Facing such experts, they did not dare to disobey at all. The sacred dragon bloodline was not a kind bloodline. Now the news of the ancestral dragon bloodline's peak expert, Fang, was already known to all the experts. Similarly, the news of the water cloud race's annihilation was also known to them. An advanced race was easily annihilated by them. Such a terrifying existence could not be provoked. Otherwise it would be death. The sacred dragon son and his group quickly shuttled through the cities. Soon, the route and information of the sacred dragon bloodline's sacred dragon son and the other experts were sent to the universe AI. Now, the sacred dragon bloodline's war to unify the divine dragon race had begun. This had become the matter that attracted the most attention in Chaotic Continent. The route of the sacred dragon son and his group naturally attracted a lot of attention. Initially, they used the teleportation formations in a dozen cities to travel. Eventually, they used dozens of teleportation formations to travel. Soon they discovered some information. That was, every time the sacred dragon son and his group teleported, they would be closer to the eternal heaven river. In other words, their target might be the Dragon Palace. 4 months later, when the experts and disciples on the universe AI discovered that the sacred dragon son and his group had once again arrived at another race's territory to teleport, they could confirm one thing. The sacred dragon son and the sacred dragon bloodline's target is the eternal heaven river's Dragon Palace. There's no doubt about it. Their route is definitely the Dragon Palace. The sacred dragon bloodline's second target is the Dragon Palace? They are going to destroy the Dragon Palace? Are they going to attack the Dragon Palace? Facing the sacred dragon son and his group of experts, can the Dragon Palace withstand them? Definitely not. Even if the sacred dragon king did not make a move, the Dragon Palace is not a match for the sacred dragon son and his group. I wonder how the Dragon Palace will withstand them? Should they flee immediately or hide? On the universe AI, the news about the sacred dragon bloodline's next target, the Dragon Palace, was buzzing. All the experts and disciples of the various races were discussing it. The Dragon Palace, as well as all the experts and disciples of the ancestral dragon's lineage who had been paying attention to the sacred dragon's lineage, received the news immediately. I didn't expect the sacred dragon bloodline's target to be our Dragon Palace. When Wang Xian saw this news, his face was filled with astonishment. Sun Sheng and the rest did not attack the scattered experts of the ancestral dragon bloodline. Instead, they chose the Dragon Palace. What do you mean? Are you afraid that we'll escape or something? Wang Xian revealed a smile on his face when he saw the news. According to the universe AI's information, the Holy Dragon King clearly did not make a move. Instead, it was the Holy Dragon Son who led a group of Holy Dragon bloodline warriors to attack. As for the Son of Dragon Saint, Wang Xian did not take him seriously at all. When Wang Xian knew that the Sacred Dragon King had at least 6 to 7 inborn cardinal treasures, he might have taken him more seriously. How many Khanate cardinal treasures could a mere dragon saint have? He didn't believe that there would be 3 or 4 Khanate cardinal treasures. Dragon King, according to the information we received, the Holy Dragon Son and his group should have around 10 third-order sovereigns. There shouldn't be more than 13 or 14. Prime Minister Turtle reported to Wang Xian. Hee. Wang Xian chuckled. Get ready immediately. If they are here to attack us, receive them well and get the sky array ready. Yes, Dragon King. Prime Minister Turtle revealed a smile. Their Dragon Palace loved such opponents. If the Sacred Dragon King personally led the Holy Dragon bloodline to attack the Dragon Palace, it would be extremely difficult for the Dragon Palace to eliminate the other party's experts. But now they only sent a portion of their experts. Weren't they here to deliver resources? Naturally they would welcome such a good dragon warmly. At this time, Wang Xian received a series of messages on the Universe AI. Green Dragon Moon, Green Dragon Suing, and Golden Dragon King. They were reminding Wang Xian to be careful or to lead the Dragon Palace's experts to leave this place immediately. Wang Xian smiled when he saw these messages. From the ancestral dragon bloodline's point of view, although the Dragon Palace had some strength, they only had 3 to 4 third-order sovereigns. How could 3 to 4 third-order sovereigns resist the Holy Dragon Son and his group? They couldn't resist at all. Don't worry, our Dragon Palace will be fine. Wang Xian sent them a message to tell them not to worry. This time, he was going to make the entire great desolate continent boil with excitement once again. The Dragon Palace is going to be in danger? At the same time, in the faraway land of Devil's Bones, the Spirit Demon King of the Spirit Demon Clan was in a special space. When he saw the message on the Universe AI, he frowned slightly. He looked to the front. In front of him, the flesh of Spirit Red Bone was slowly condensing, and the sound of her heart beating could be heard. At the same time, a powerful force shot out from her body. Although she hadn't reached the Universe Lord realm, she was already a terrifying existence. Based on Red Bone's current situation, she should only need 2 years to fully grow her flesh. By then she should be a half-step Universe Lord? The Spirit Demon King murmured, took out the Universe AI, and immediately sent a message to Wang Xian. In the Dragon King Hall of the Dragon Palace, Wang Xian was replying to some messages. When he saw the message from the Spirit Demon King, he smiled. The message from the Spirit Demon King wasn't much, just 6 words. Do you need reinforcements? As long as Wang Xian said the word, the Spirit Demon King would bring people over. Thank you for your concern, Senior Spirit Demon King. We can handle it, don't worry. Wang Xian replied to him. The Spirit Demon King smiled when he saw this message. He had full confidence in the strength of Wang Xian and the Dragon Palace. The Diablo Sorcerer clan was a sorcerer, and the leader of the Diablo Sorcerer clan was an array sorcerer. The Dragon Palace was able to infiltrate the lair of an array sorcerer and kill him, as well as another third-order sovereign realm expert. This strength wasn't something that only 3 or 4 third-order universe lords could achieve. At least 6 or 7. 6 or 7 was just his guess, but it wouldn't be a problem to use them for a defensive battle. Moreover, the Dragon Palace might be even stronger. I guess after Red Bone improves, given her character, she will go out to help the Dragon King. The Spirit Demon King's eyes flickered. He hesitated for a moment, took out the Universe AI and contacted someone. That was a person he had never wanted to contact, but now, his daughter would eventually go to that person's place. His daughter was also his pride. Chapter 3544. Sun Xinglong, we only need to fly for a month and we will be able to reach the Dragon Palace in the Eternal River. Time passed day by day. When Xinglong and the group of experts flew out of a city, an old man spoke to Xinglong. Any other news about the Dragon Palace? Sun Xinglong asked plainly. There's no other news about the Dragon Palace on the AI. They don't seem to be making any moves. However, that doesn't mean that they might have left secretly, said the old man. Escape? If they have already escaped, we will continue chasing. Sun Xinglong's eyes flashed with murderous intent as he said confidently, even if they escape to the ends of the universe, we will be able to catch them and kill them. The group of experts from the Sacred Dragon bloodline smiled and nodded their heads. And when Xinglong and the others flew out of the last city, the universe's AI system's news quickly spread out. Sun Xinglong and the rest are going to destroy the Dragon Palace. I wonder what's the situation there? Is there anyone who is brave enough to go take a look at the Eternal River? Haha, there's really such a thing. As long as you have a special innate spiritual treasure or some high-tech telescope, You can watch from afar without being affected. If they really fight, it will be a battle between third-order universe sovereigns. The area affected will be huge. Moreover, there might be terrifying killing weapons like innate cardinal treasures. On the AI, the experts and disciples of the various forces were discussing. Some daring people were already flying towards the everlasting river of heaven. They couldn't get close to a battle of this level, but they could watch from afar through some treasures. The chances of being affected were slim. Within the Dragon Palace, Wang Xian was looking at the messages on the universe AI with a smile on his face. He scanned his surroundings and waited quietly. In less than half a year's time, it was basically confirmed that the Sacred Dragon bloodline had sent out 11 experts this time. 11 third-order universe sovereigns. The reason for this number was because even if all the pinnacle experts of the ancestral dragon bloodline gathered to ambush them, they could still escape. With this number they could easily retreat. This time I will make at least half of you stay. Wang Xian's eyes shone brightly. 1 month passed by very quickly. Xing Longzi and the others arrived in the sky above the eternal heaven river. They smiled and flew towards the place where the water from the heavens was falling. That was the lair of Dragon Palace. A few decades ago, Lord Archangel Gabriel fought with a giant star beast here. He easily injured the giant star beast and almost killed it. Today, let's destroy the Dragon Palace here. An old man looked ahead and said with a smile. I wonder who gave the Dragon Palace the confidence to not run away. Hehe. Sun Xinglong looked at the dragon-seeking ruler in front of him. Under the guidance of the dragon-seeking ruler, there was a large number of divine dragon bloodline practitioners ahead. This meant that the Dragon Palace did not escape. Perhaps they want to submit to our sacred dragon bloodline. A middle-aged man said with a smile. Haha, if they kneel down and submit to our sacred dragon bloodline, I can consider taking them into the sacred dragon bloodline. Sun Xinglong laughed loudly and increased his speed. Voila! The water from the heavens fell and made a loud noise. Sun Xinglong and the rest looked down and flew down. They're here. Sun Xinglong and the rest of the experts from the sacred dragon bloodline are here. 11 third-order universe sovereigns and over 20 second-order universe sovereigns. Their strength is too terrifying. The Dragon Palace did not escape. I wonder what trump card they have. The Dragon Palace is obviously not a match for Sun Xinglong and the rest. Are they going to submit to us? The possibility is small, right? That's hard to say. Maybe they will really submit. The sacred dragon bloodline is too strong now. They even have the angel clan behind them. At the same time, at a place far away from the water from the heavens, many bold experts rushed over to watch the battle. They used various means to show the scene of the water from the heavens. They could see the Dragon Palace below. However, they were too far away. It was fine to watch during peaceful times. Once a battle broke out, they might not be able to see it clearly. However, they did not care. They only wanted to know the outcome of the battle. Swoosh. Sun Xinglong and the rest fell into the eternal river of heaven. They stared coldly at the Dragon Palace below. The corners of their lips curled into a sinister smile. In the Dragon Palace, Wang Xian walked out of the Dragon Gate slowly and looked at Sun Xinglong and the rest of the experts in the sky. Aha, Dragon King of the Dragon Palace? I couldn't kill you previously because of the Spirit Demon King. Who would have expected you to break through in the blink of an eye? When Sun Xinglong saw Wang Xian, he immediately recognized him as the expert from the Dragon Palace that he had hunted previously. However, he was stopped by the Spirit Demon King previously. The Spirit Demon King had an innate cardinal treasure and they were in the territory of the Spirit Demon tribe. Hence, he did not dare to go all out. The guy who was protected by the Spirit Demon King was actually the Dragon King of the Dragon Palace? How strong could he be when he had just broken through to the third-order universe sovereign realm? Even if he had an innate cardinal treasure, Sun Xinglong was confident that he could kill him easily. Sun Xinglong, long time no see. Wang Xian swept his gaze across Sun Xinglong and the rest of the experts from the sacred dragon bloodline. He revealed a faint smile. It has indeed been a long time. Seeing Wang Xian's indifferent expression, Sun Xinglong looked around and squinted his eyes. Dragon King of the Dragon Palace, I'll give you a choice. Kneel down and submit to the sacred dragon bloodline, and I can spare your life. You want us to submit to a bunch of lackeys? You want all the members of the Dragon Palace to be dogs? Wang Xian stared at Sun Xinglong with a face full of ridicule. Being dogs is an insult to us. You're courting death. Sun Xinglong was instantly infuriated by Wang Xian's words. He, the sacred dragon bloodline, hated people who said that they were the dogs of the angel tribe. If anyone dared to say that, he would make them suffer a fate worse than death. Dragon King of the Dragon Palace, I'm going to kill you and place your head in our Dragon Palace as a decoration. Sun Xinglong's eyes were bloodshot and filled with a sinister look. He roared and immediately transformed into the body of the light divine dragon. Waves of horrifying aura surged downwards. You're courting death. Welcome your death. After we annihilate the Dragon Palace, it won't be long before the sacred dragon bloodline becomes the divine dragon tribe. The group of experts from the sacred dragon bloodline bellowed coldly. He had no idea of death or danger. He actually dared to insult them. Chapter 35-45. The divine dragons roared and the experts of the sacred dragon bloodline immediately transformed into their divine dragon forms, staring coldly at the dragon palace below. Their imposing aura surged towards the dragon palace. The current dragon palace was still unable to withstand their attacks and seemed to be on the verge of collapse. The experts from the sacred dragon bloodline stared coldly at the dragon palace. Don't do anything. I'm going to kill the Dragon King personally and take his head. Sun Xinglong let out a low roar and said with an ice-cold expression. He swooped down and extended his dragon claws. The innate cardinal treasure twin dragon eyes and sacred peak gradually appeared behind him. Hee, Sun Xinglong, do you want to fight one-on-one? Wang Xian stared at Sun Xinglong with a mocking look as he scanned the innate cardinal treasures on him. There were only 2 of them. He thought there would be more. I'm going to pull out your tendons and pull out your bones. Sun Xinglong stared at Wang Xian with murderous intent as he said coldly. They're fighting. They're so fast. We can't even see them when they start fighting. They're fighting so soon. The Dragon Palace seems to be on the verge of collapse. I guess it's over. I think we can get closer. Gosh, a real battle. In an extremely distant location, the group of bold experts saw Xinglong Zi move through various auxiliary tools. Their faces were filled with shock as they roared in a low voice. The only pity was that they couldn't see clearly once Sun Xinglong moved. Some experts were considering if they should get closer. One-on-one I can kill you easily. Sun Xinglong's eyes were filled with disdain and coldness when he heard Wang Xian. Not long ago, he had easily killed a third-order universe sovereign from the ancestral dragon bloodline. Now that he was facing the Dragon King of Dragon Palace, he was confident that he could kill him easily. As for the possibility of other third-order universe sovereigns in the Dragon Palace, he wasn't worried at all. If any Dragon Palace experts dared to launch a sneak attack, the experts from the sacred dragon bloodline would blast them into pieces. Wang Xian smirked as he looked at the confident Sun Xinglong. The unbeginning Saint Wings gradually appeared behind him. The 5 elements grindstone and the Tai Chi dragon coil faintly appeared. Lingling also appeared on his shoulder with the water tentacle king on his shoulder. At this instant Wang Xian moved. His figure immediately disappeared. At this moment, Sun Xinglong's pupils shrank as he quickly scanned his surroundings. He saw a shadow charging towards him at a terrifying speed. Do you think I can't see it? The son of the sacred dragon let out a deep roar. Both his dragon eyes lit up and 2 beams of light shone towards Wang Xian's body. Whoosh! However, at this moment the 5 elements grindstone spun, and the 5 divine dragons on it poked their heads out and attacked the pair of dragon eyes. Bam! The light emitted by the pair of dragon eyes was blocked by the 5 elements grindstone. Furthermore, the grindstone did not slow down in the slightest as it shot towards the pair of dragon eyes. What? A Khanate cardinal treasure? When Sun Xinglong saw that the attack of his Khanate cardinal treasure dragon eyes was actually blocked, his expression changed slightly. Competing with primordial cardinal treasures? Ah, good Saint Peak. He let out a ferocious roar. The inborn cardinal treasure sacred peak on his body trembled and immediately turned into a horrifying giant peak that pressed down on Wang Xian. Wang Xian's body shook a little, and the dark ghost doppelganger appeared from his body. Lingling waved the water lotus staff in her hand, and waves of energy were added to the dark ghost doppelganger. The dark ghost doppelganger transformed into a divine dragon and charged towards the Saint Peak. Rumble. Intense collision sounds were heard once again. With the support of Lingling, the dark ghost doppelganger took on the son of the sacred dragon's second Khanate cardinal treasure. Wang Xian stared at the son of the sacred dragon with disdain. Swoosh. The unbeginning sacred wings flapped, and his speed increased exponentially once again. What? At this moment, the son of the sacred dragon was shocked. His arrogant face was filled with astonishment, and his eyes couldn't help but narrow. Oh no! In the sky, the experts from the sacred dragon lineage who were watching the battle indifferently had a drastic change in their expressions. "Watch out, son of the sacred dragon lineage." The group of experts from the sacred dragon lineage roared as they made their moves immediately. "This counts as 3 moves. Instant kill." The son of the sacred dragon could no longer see Wuxia. He wanted to fly up into the sky immediately, but a voice rang in his ears. "Arg." The next moment he felt an immense pain coming from his head. The threat of death shrouded him. "No." His face was filled with shock and anger as he roared. Bam. However, in the next moment he saw his head being chopped off and his life force rapidly dissipating. "That's it? How dare you be so arrogant in front of me?" Wang Xian held the head of the son of the sacred dragon and said with disdain and sarcasm. "That's it? That's it?" The son of the sacred dragon's eyes widened, and his dragon blood gushed out continuously. How could this be possible? He was the son of the sacred dragon. With 2 Khanate cardinal treasures he could easily kill an existence of the same level. Yet, in front of the Dragon King he couldn't even withstand 3 moves. Saying 3 moves might be overestimating him. The other 2 moves were the other party blocking the attacks from his Khanate cardinal treasures. "Let go of our son of the sacred dragon. Stop. If you dare to kill our son of the sacred dragon lineage will grind your bones into dust." When the experts from the sacred dragon lineage saw this, their eyes were popping out as they roared and threatened. But at this moment the sky suddenly changed. Illusory figures of divine dragons appeared in the surroundings. Space Shackle. 11 Third Order Universe Sovereigns dare to annihilate my dragon palace? Wang Xian lifted his head, looked into the sky, and let out a sinister laugh. "Kill them." In the next moment, terrifying roars came from within the dragon palace. Berserk dragon species, thunder dragon, starwood dragon species, venom horn dragon species. Roving heavens and the rest flew into the sky. The 11 Third Order Universe Sovereigns were filled with murderous intent. "Boring, I haven't even made a move. Next I'm going to kill a lackey." The Water Tentacle King looked at the head of the son of the sacred dragon. She fixed her gaze on a Radiance divine dragon. The lackey of the Angel clan was the enemy of the Water Tentacle King. Bam. Wang Xian waved his arm, and the head and body of the son of the sacred dragon landed in front of the dragon palace. He flapped his unbeginning sacred wings and moved immediately. "What? How is this possible? How is this possible?" When the experts from the dragon palace moved, all the experts from the sacred dragon lineage were completely dumbfounded. When they felt the terrifying strength of the experts from the dragon palace, their expressions changed drastically. The terrifying aura was much more than what they had on their side. There were more than a dozen Third Order Universe Sovereigns in this dragon palace. Chapter 3546. How can the Dragon Palace have so many pinnacle experts? How is this possible? The Sacred Dragon bloodline had 10 Third Order Universe Sovereigns and over 20 Second Order Universe Sovereigns. They were in disbelief at the sight before them. Over a dozen Third Order Universe Sovereigns? This was something that the Divine Dragon bloodline had developed for countless years and had obtained some resources as rewards from the angel race. But the Dragon Palace? It had only been a short time and they already possessed such terrifying strength. Most importantly, the Dragon King and the terrifying Dragon Palace. They had killed their sacred dragon son in 3 moves. Their sacred dragon son had 2 inborn cardinal treasures. Run, run, run. Run now. Seeing the experts of Dragon Palace charging towards them, the 10 peak experts of the sacred dragon lineage did not hesitate and roared sternly. Run. Given the strength of the Dragon Palace, they were no match for them. This was the territory of the Dragon Palace. If they were not careful, they might die here. Besides, the 10 sacred dragon sons could still resist a little. However, over 20 Second Order Sovereigns weren't enough to stop the Dragon Palace's attack. Run, they had no hesitation. There's a flight restriction array around. Break it. One of the Radiance Divine Dragons roared in anger. I'll do it. Break it. The Radiance Divine Dragon in the center roared and a pair of scissors appeared above him. The scissors were gray and did not look like they had any attributes. The scissors opened up and cut towards the void. The surrounding divine dragon shadows began to crumble rapidly. What? The Dragon King? They have powerful inborn cardinal treasures. Down below, when Tianjin saw his forbidden space formation being broken, he roared in shock. Kill as many as you can. Wang Xian locked his gaze on a Radiance Divine Dragon that appeared beside him instantly. Scram. The light divine dragon had a drastic change of expression. It stirred up the horrifying dragon power and swept towards Wang Xian with the boundless power of light. Facing Wang Xian's attack, he did not dare to be careless. His first move was the law of Dharma. As the radiance swept across, Wang Xian's expression remained unchanged. The Tai Chi dragon disc revolved around him. Ling Ling waved the magic staff in her hand and energy enveloped him. Die. Wang Xian's arm turned into a dragon claw and clawed at the radiance divine dragon's tail. Try, a mad one, Gad 2, catch X. You're courting death. When the light divine dragon saw that Wang Xian dared to grab his dragon tail to attack, his face turned hideous. The Dragon King was probably looking for trouble. However, in the next second, his malevolent expression froze. He felt that his dragon tail had struck a terrifying surface, and an extremely powerful rebounding force surged into his body. Pooh! He couldn't help but spit out a mouthful of blood. He was severely injured in an instant. Immediately after, he felt the world spin around him. Waves of terrifying energy surged into his body, and his vitality quickly disappeared. Bam! His body smashed heavily in front of the Dragon Palace, and his vitality gradually disappeared. The second light divine dragon was instantly killed. Now, third-order universe sovereigns without innate cardinal treasures couldn't even withstand one move from Wang Xian. Kill? The second divine dragon was slain. Wang Xian immediately locked onto the next moment. Not good, not good, third brother was killed. The death of the light divine dragon caused the expressions of the surrounding sacred dragon bloodline experts to change drastically as they roared in horror. Their faces were filled with astonishment. A third-order universe sovereign was killed in an instant? Was the Dragon King of the Dragon Palace a terrifying existence in the universe sovereign realm? How could he be so strong? Give it your all. The third-order universe sovereign light divine dragon with innate cardinal treasure swept a glance below and roared in fear. If they didn't give it their all and escape, all of them would be killed. Why was the Dragon Palace so strong? Now they finally understood why the Dragon Palace didn't escape after knowing that they were coming. Because the Dragon King wasn't afraid of them. They even felt that it would be difficult to kill the Dragon King alone, even if they joined forces. It was too terrifying. Rumble. In the next moment, all the experts from the sacred dragon bloodline unleashed their strongest energy. They wanted to escape. Space scissors. The light divine dragon with innate cardinal treasure roared and scissors towards the space around his comrade. The space around his comrade seemed to be cut off, forming a separate space. He quickly returned to his own holy kingdom. Boom! Roving heavens blasted towards him but was blocked by that strange space. A light divine dragon had escaped. Try, Mad 1, Gad 2, catch X. Ah! No. At this moment, screams rang out once more. What? The sacred dragon bloodline expert with innate cardinal treasure looked over and his eyes turned bloodshot. 20-odd second-order universe sovereigns from the sacred dragon bloodline screamed in pain. A figure of light and darkness was swiftly reaping their lives. They couldn't resist at all. Spike dragon species, this is a strange spike dragon species. The sacred dragon expert with the innate cardinal treasure roared. Escape. He controlled the innate cardinal treasure to isolate the space around him. Then he scissors towards the space around his comrade. Escape? Have you asked for my permission? The water tentacle king roared and droplets of seawater covered the space that was cut off, completely blocking it. The water flowed towards the space, preventing the sacred dragon expert from escaping. What kind of attack is this? What kind of strange attack is this? The expert from the sacred dragon bloodline roared in disbelief. With the obstruction of the water energy, his return to his holy kingdom would be interrupted instantly. You're courting death. At this moment, Wang Xian's figure flickered as he attacked the light divine dragon with the innate cardinal treasure. Shit, the Dragon King has locked onto me. He has locked onto me. At this moment, even though he was in a special space, the sacred dragon bloodline expert broke out in cold sweat. After witnessing Wang Xian's strength, he didn't dare to go against him. The sacred dragon expert with the innate cardinal treasure gritted his teeth. The gray scissors in front of him cut towards his back, creating a terrifying black hole. Run for your lives, run. He didn't dare to care about his comrade as he dove into the black hole and disappeared instantly. At this moment, another scream rang out. Bastard's lackey die. The tentacles of the water tentacle king squeezed into the space that was cut off and wrapped around the light divine dragon. Roar roar. A blood-curdling scream rang out. Another third-order sovereign from the sacred dragon bloodline was dead. No, Dragontail, explode. At the side, the group of third-order sovereigns from the sacred dragon bloodline panicked when they saw this scene. An expert directly caused his own dragon tail to explode, blasting open a space and fighting for a chance to escape. Chapter 3547, Run. The son of the holy dragon was killed, one dragon king was instantly killed, one was killed by the experts from Dragon Palace and two escaped. Over 20 second-order universe sovereigns were all dead. The remaining 6 third-order sovereigns nearly pissed their pants in fear. One of the Radiant's divine dragons self-destructed his dragon tail, and terrifying energy filled the surroundings. He desperately flew towards the black hole in front of him. As long as he entered the black hole, he would have a chance to survive. His desperation had indeed prevented the experts of Dragon Palace from breaking through. That terrifying energy could severely injure a third-order universe sovereign expert. That Radiant's divine dragon risked his life to escape. When the other 5 light divine dragons saw this, a vicious glint flashed in their eyes as they roared ferociously. One of the Radiant's divine dragon's scales shone brightly, and the dragon's scales shot towards the surroundings. This horrifying dragon scale attack made the experts of Dragon Palace slightly change their expressions. Such a desperate attack could only be executed by 3 experts from Dragon Palace. Otherwise, it was impossible to defend against it. This was also the reason why 3 experts of the same level could only kill one. Once the other party unleashed his full strength, the chances of escaping were very high. Trying to escape? But at this time, Wuxia locked his gaze on the third-order universe sovereign Radiant's divine dragon, and his eyes flashed coldly. Whoosh! The unbeginning saint wings flapped, and Wuxia completely ignored the attacks of the Radiant's divine dragon scales, using the Tai Chi dragon coil to block them. How can you escape so easily? Wuxia's voice rang in his mind. What? When the Radiant's divine dragon heard Wuxia's voice, his eyes narrowed, and his face was filled with horror. He couldn't help but look behind him. Pfft. But at this time Wuxia's dragon claws grabbed his body, and flung him backwards. No, don't kill me. The Radiant's divine dragon roared in despair. Shit. The other 5 experts from the sacred dragon bloodline looked over, and their hearts clenched, and their faces were filled with fear. Explode. A Radiant's divine dragon self-destructed his innate spiritual treasure, and flew towards the black hole with all his might. Try, a mad one, Gad 2. Catch X. The other 4 also ran for their lives. As long as he could escape, it didn't matter how severe his injuries were. If you want to escape, Roving Heavens, Orochi and Roving Demon lock onto a Radiant Divine Dragon. Below, the Heavenly Array roared and layers of defensive arrays appeared around Roving Heavens and the rest. Roar. Kill them. How dare they destroy our Dragon Palace? You're courting death. Roving Heavens and the rest roared. With the protection of the Heaven Array, they charged in directly. With the heavenly formation and their own defenses, they could defend against the self-destruction of their opponents and the attacks of Khanate numinous treasures. No. When the Radiant's divine dragon that was locked on saw Roving Heavens and the rest charging over, its body shuddered violently. He didn't want to die. However, when he saw Roving Heavens and the rest rushing over, his face was filled with despair. On the other side, the Water Tentacle King wanted to lock onto a light divine dragon, but seeing that they had already entered the black hole, it frowned slightly. It was too late. It was also too late for Wuxia. If a third-order sovereign realm divine dragon wanted to escape, it would be extremely troublesome to stop him. Roar. Accompanied by a light divine dragon's agonized roar, the other 4 light divine dragons disappeared. Bam! Roving Heavens grabbed the tail of the Radiant's divine dragon and threw it down heavily. Boom! That divine dragon was on the verge of death under their attacks and their own outburst. A terrifying battle had ended in an extremely quick manner. At this moment, out of the 11 third-order sovereign realm divine dragon bloodline experts, 5 were killed, while the remaining 6 escaped with serious injuries. As for the 20-odd second-order sovereign realm divine dragon bloodline experts, all of them were killed. Luckily they escaped quickly. Otherwise, none of them would have been left alive. Orochi flew over and said coldly, "Even if they escaped, it doesn't mean they survived." At this moment Heavenly Array flew over from below. With a wave of his arm, the surrounding pools of blood flew towards his hand. Of the 6 divine dragon bloodline pinnacle experts that escaped, Only one did not leave a trail of blood. The rest were left with blood, dragon scales and large chunks of dragon tails. Heavenly Array moved his palm and the devil's corpse, the source of curses, appeared in front of him. He sprinkled a pool of blood on the devil's corpse. Try the mad one, Gad 2. Catch X. Soon the entire devil's corpse began to change. From a human body, it transformed into a divine dragon. Is this an inborn cardinal treasure? Thunder Cry, Roving Heavens, and the other leaders of the dragon palaces looked over with curiosity. Just now they had witnessed the power of an inborn cardinal treasure. Of course, this wasn't because of the Saint Dragon Sun's inborn cardinal treasure. The two inborn cardinal treasures of the Saint Dragon Sun were easily suppressed by Wang Xian. The power that erupted from the grayish scissors was terrifying. The ability to cut space was exceptionally strange. Wang Xian swept his gaze across Heavenly Array. He didn't need to say anything about using the devil's corpse to curse. Heavenly Array already knew what to do. He looked to the side. His eyes sparkled as he looked at the two inborn cardinal treasures. In a flash, he came before the pair of dragon eyes and reached out to grab it. When he touched it, a force of resistance came. Scram. This is the inborn cardinal treasure of the sacred dragon bloodline. Anyone who wants to take it will be the enemy of the sacred dragon bloodline. A strong force of resistance came. When the pair of dragon eyes encountered Wang Xian's unfamiliar aura, it tried to break free and fly away. Umph. Wang Xian snorted coldly as the five elements grindstone pressed down on it. One. The pair of dragon eyes tried to break free, but the force on it couldn't break free from the suppression of the five elements grindstone. Wang Xian reached out his dragon claws. Under the suppression of the two forces, the pair of dragon eyes stopped trembling and were held tightly in his hands. Another inborn cardinal treasure. Moreover, this inborn cardinal treasure was useful to him. After suppressing the pair of dragon eyes, Wang Xian reached out to grab the other inborn cardinal treasure, the sacred peak. When the sacred peak sensed the unfamiliar aura, a wave of energy vibrated out. Wang Xian felt this wave of energy and his expression changed. He couldn't help but fly backward. Swoosh. At this time, a pair of wings of light gradually formed on the sacred peak. The wings carried the sacred peak and flew far away. Suppress. When Wang Xian saw this, his expression changed. He instantly came to the top of the sacred peak. Waves of destructive five elements power pressed down. Chapter 35-48, Swoosh. On both sides of the sacred peak, the radiant wings flapped, unaffected by Wang Xian's suppression. It flew off into the distance at a terrifying speed. Wang Xian frowned when he saw this. He shook his head helplessly. The twin dragon eyes were the innate treasure of the sacred dragon bloodline. This innate treasure was merely a restriction set up by the sacred dragon king. This sacred peak was obviously the innate treasure of the angel clan. It wasn't easy to obtain the innate treasure of the angel clan. It was obvious that the archangel had set up a restriction. Moreover, the archangel's level wasn't low. At this time he sensed something and looked in a direction. His eyes shone brightly. What the fuck? What the fuck? At the same time, at a place extremely far away from the Dragon Palace, a group of braver experts was watching the scene at the Dragon Palace through various treasures and tools. When the battle started, when the terrifying energy swept across the sky above the Dragon Palace, they couldn't see anything clearly. They vaguely saw the sacred dragon sun charging down and then nothing. As the distance was too far, they couldn't hear anything. However, the end of this war was much faster than they had expected. In less than a few minutes, everything was calm. Following which, they saw the group of experts from the Dragon Palace hovering in the air. As for the experts from the sacred dragon bloodline, they were reduced to corpses. How is this possible? How is this possible? The sacred dragon bloodline was defeated? In less than a few minutes they either died or fled. The sacred dragon bloodline sent out 11 Third Order Universe sovereigns this time. Over 20 Second Order Universe sovereigns? How could they be defeated so quickly? Did you guys see the radiant divine dragon corpses beside the Dragon Palace? Damn, how is this possible? How is this possible? When they saw the sacred dragon bloodline attacking the Dragon Palace, they thought it would be a fierce battle. They thought the Dragon Palace would be defeated and flee. But they had never imagined that this would be the result. The sacred dragon bloodline was defeated, and a group of experts were killed. How was this possible? Based on the strength that the Dragon Palace had displayed, how strong were they? Try the mad one, Gad 2. Catch X. At most, 3 or 4 third-order sovereigns. But now, to be able to defeat 11 third-order sovereigns in such a short period of time, how terrifying was their strength. This battle was completely out of everyone's expectations. An expert from Dragon Palace is looking in our direction? No way, what kind of strength does he have? We're so far away yet you can sense it? This Dragon Palace wouldn't have a terrifying existence at the Universe Lord realm, right? That should be the Dragon King of the Dragon Palace. Did he sense us? At this moment they saw Wang Xian looking in their direction. Everyone immediately felt their scalps go numb. They were already far enough away. How could this be discovered? That figure disappeared. Right at this moment an expert spoke. According to their detection treasures, Wang Xian's figure had already disappeared. They probably didn't notice us. We're already very far from the Dragon Palace. Even a third-order sovereign realm expert would need at least a minute to fly over. An old man said. The rest of the people nodded slightly. From their perspective they were very safe from this distance. To prevent any accidents they had set up a perimeter. Even a third-order sovereign realm expert would need at least a minute to fly over. This minute was enough for them to leave. Not to mention a minute, even a second was enough for them to leave. I didn't expect the strength of the Dragon Palace to be so terrifying. I feel that the strength of the Dragon Palace isn't any weaker than the Sacred Dragon bloodline. Although the Sacred Dragon bloodline didn't give it their all, the speed of the Dragon Palace's victory was too fast. Yeah, I feel that the strength of the Dragon Palace is already stronger than the Ancestral Dragon bloodline. The group of experts discussed in shock as their eyes flickered. But it's good that the Dragon Palace is strong. If the Sacred Dragon bloodline wins, the Divine Dragon clan will probably be finished. A middle-aged man laughed. From an outsider's point of view, they hoped that the Dragon Palace would win. After all, no normal living being would wish for a lackey to win. If there's nothing else, leave this place. Try, Mad 1, Gad 2. Catch X. Just as the middle-aged man finished speaking, a voice was suddenly transmitted into everyone's mind. The abrupt voice exploded in their minds, causing all of their expressions to stiffen. They opened their mouths slightly and lifted their heads to look at the sky. They saw a young, towering figure with dragon horns floating in the air. That young figure swept a glance at them before disappearing in the next moment. At this moment all the experts broke out in cold sweat. The sound of people sucking in a breath of cold air could be heard. Everyone looked at each other, their faces filled with shock. Even if he isn't a universe lord, he must have reached the half-step sovereign realm. An expert growled in a low voice. Just now all of them felt extremely horrified. If this expert from the Dragon Palace attacked them, all of them would probably be dead by now. How terrifying. No wonder he could defeat the Sacred Dragon bloodline so easily. Everyone thought to themselves. Wang Xian only sensed that there were eyes on the Dragon Palace, but he did not see the group of living beings that came over to watch the battle. But just in case he flew over to check it out. Wang Xian did not say much to this group of people, nor did he care about them. There was no impact on the Dragon Palace. Back in the Dragon Palace, Wang Xian immediately came to the front of the Sky Formation. At this moment, the Sky Formation had already started the first curse. At the same time at the Light God Mountain, in the old lair of the Sacred Dragon bloodline. When the 6 light divine dragons escaped from the Dragon Palace and returned to their holy kingdoms, they did not immediately recuperate. Instead, they immediately flew towards the Sacred Dragon Palace. The death of the Sacred Dragon Son and the terrifying strength displayed by the Dragon Palace had shocked them. Most importantly, they had actually lost 5 third-order sovereigns this time. That was 5 of them. They had fought with the Ancestral Dragon bloodline for over 1,000 years, and not even 5 of their pinnacle experts had fallen. Over at the Dragon Palace, 5 of them died instantly. They had even fled with all their might. The strength of the Dragon Palace was too terrifying. They wanted to report the death of the Sacred Dragon Son and the group of experts to the Sacred Dragon King. Chapter 3549, Lord Sacred Dragon King, Lord Sacred Dragon King. Anxious voices rang in the sky above the Sacred Dragon King's palace. One by one the experts from the Sacred Dragon bloodline flew over. Among them there were 4 experts emitting thick blood chi. Those were injuries that they had yet to recover from. In one of the rooms in the main hall, Sacred Dragon King was sleeping leisurely with a few female light divine dragons in his arms after killing the ancestral dragon leader. Suddenly he sensed his subordinates barging in and was taken aback. When he sensed the extremely weak bodies of the 4 divine dragons, he was slightly shocked and immediately flew into the main hall. What happened? He came to the dragon throne in the main hall and looked at the 6 subordinates flying in his direction. As he sized up their bodies, his face darkened. This is bad, Sacred Dragon King. The Sacred Dragon Son was killed by the Dragon Palace's Dragon King. Our 4 brothers were also killed by the Dragon King. A terrified voice came from the mouth of a light divine dragon. At this moment, his face was filled with fear. The battle with the Dragon Palace was a nightmare to them. That terrifying strength had killed the Sacred Dragon Son in 3 moves. They had risked their lives to escape from the Dragon Palace. The strength of the Dragon Palace's Dragon King had terrified them. The strength of the Dragon Palace had terrified them. That Dragon Palace was too strong. The 11 of them, who were Third Order Universe Sovereigns, could not put up any resistance. What? Sacred Dragon King's expression changed when he heard the news. He stood up abruptly and shouted in disbelief. Not only that, more than 20 of our Second Order Universe Sovereigns were all killed. We did not even have the chance to escape. We also risked our lives to escape. Another peak expert from the Sacred Dragon bloodline said, his breathing ragged. Ah! However, just as he finished speaking, he let out a terrified roar. A great terror descended on his head. He widened his eyes and slowly extended his arm to cover his head. His eyes were filled with panic. Lord Sacred Dragon King, save me, save me. His eyes were wide open as he screamed in a frenzy. This, Sacred Dragon King's expression changed when he saw this. He instantly appeared beside that divine dragon and placed his palm on his head. Try, Mad 1, Gad 2. Waves of majestic light energy fell on his head. However, the influx of light energy could not stop his head from splitting open. Blood-curdling screams rang out from his mouth as the life force in his body rapidly melted away. No, 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 no. Crazed voices kept coming out of his mouth. He didn't want to die. When the other 5 light divine dragons in the surroundings saw this, their expressions changed drastically. The Holy Dragon King growled and tried to defend himself. Boo. But all of a sudden, it was as if an extremely sharp attack had pierced through the divine dragon's body, directly slicing it into 2. At the same time, a strange energy invaded his flesh and blood, causing his vitality to disappear. Bam! The light divine dragon slowly reverted to its divine dragon form and collapsed in the hall. This is a curse, this is the power of a curse. The Dragon Palace has such a terrifying curse wizard? Oh no, we've left a lot of blood there. A powerful figure trembled violently when he saw his companions and powerful figures dying in front of him in such a bizarre manner. He shouted in fear. They looked at each other, filled with intense fear. This Dragon Palace was too strange. Will the curse continue to descend? A frail and injured old man said. But no one answered him. What's going on? How can the Dragon Palace be so powerful? My dragon son, he, and you all? The Holy Dragon King stood in front of the corpses of his subordinates and roared in disbelief. The sudden turn of events made him feel incredulous. His expression changed drastically. I've been cursed. I've been cursed. I can feel it. Your Majesty, save me. At this moment, another panicked voice came from the mouth of a middle-aged divine dragon. He hugged his head in despair. Damn it. When the Holy Dragon King saw this, he roared. With a wave of his palm, a resplendent dragon ball appeared in front of him. The dragon ball emitted a bright light that enveloped him. At the same time, a book appeared in front of him. The glowing words on the book landed on his body. The 2 Khanate cardinal treasures formed a layer of defense on his body at the same time. Try, Mad 1, Gad 2. Catch X. The use of the 2 Khanate cardinal treasures was also very obvious. The crack that appeared above his head began to slowly disappear. This is not just the power of the curse. It should be the power of the Khanate cardinal treasures. The Holy Dragon King sensed it through the Khanate cardinal treasures and said with an ugly expression. His breathing quickened and his expression was uncertain. His gaze swept to the corpses at the side again and his body trembled. Tell me what's going on. He roared in a low voice. Your Majesty, our second target is the Dragon Palace. The Dragon Palace is very powerful. When we arrived, the Dragon King killed the Holy Dragon Son with 2 Khanate cardinal treasures in 3 moves. An expert at the side swallowed and said with lingering fear. Moreover, given our strength, the Dragon Palace's Dragon King can easily kill us in seconds. His strength is very terrifying. In addition, there are more than 10 Third Order Universe Sovereigns in the Dragon Palace. They are very strong, very strong. The Dragon Palace was very strong. The Dragon Palace was very strong. This was what they felt. In fact, to them, the Dragon Palace was even stronger than the sacred dragon bloodline. Especially the Dragon Palace's Dragon King's strength. It was truly terrifying. They even felt that the Dragon Palace's Dragon King's strength was no weaker than their Holy Dragon King's. In fact, he was even stronger. Very strong. The Holy Dragon King looked at their fearful expressions and knew that they were really scared by the Dragon Palace this time. Even when they were fighting the Ancestral Dragon bloodline experts and the Ancestral Dragon leader back then, they had never seen such an expression. Clearly, the Dragon Palace's Dragon King and the Dragon Palace were very strong. Why is the Dragon Palace so strong? The Holy Dragon King's expression was very ugly. He had just killed a formidable enemy, the Ancestral Dragon leader. He thought that the sacred dragon bloodline would be able to unify the mystical dragon tribe. He did not expect the Dragon Palace to suddenly appear. Moreover, the Dragon Palace had killed 6 of their Third Order Universe sovereigns in one go. There were 6 of them. The fall of so many peak experts had greatly damaged the sacred dragon bloodline's strength. Huff. He clenched his fists tightly and his expression changed. His most outstanding son had been killed by the Dragon Palace's Dragon King. Chapter 3550, Dragon King, the curse has been blocked. The other party must have used a connate cardinal treasure to block the curse of the devil's corpse. At the same time, in front of the Dragon Palace, just as the heavenly array was about to curse the second Third Order Universe Sovereign Realm Radiance Divine Dragon, a surge of energy stopped it. He frowned slightly and reported to Wang Xian. Has it been blocked? The other party has a connate cardinal treasure, and it should be a light attribute connate cardinal treasure, so it's only natural for him to be blocked, said Wang Xian. He wasn't too surprised that the other party could withstand it. The source of curses, the Devil Corpse connate treasure, was a darkness-type connate treasure, and a light-type connate treasure could restrain it to some extent. Given the sacred dragon bloodline's heritage, it was normal for them to be able to withstand it. To be able to kill one, he was already very satisfied. Collect all the corpses. The harvest this time is huge. Wang Xian looked around, took out the universe artificial intelligence, took some pictures and said with a smile. Yes, Dragon King. We did gain a lot this time. Prime Minister Turtle and the others flew over and said excitedly. 5 Third Order Universe Sovereign Realm corpses and over 20 Second Order Universe Sovereign Realm corpses. This was enough to bring 7 Third Order Universe Sovereigns to the Dragon Palace. With the addition of these 3, the number of experts in Dragon Palace would exceed 20. Among the 23rd Order Universe Sovereigns, Wang Xian was a demon-level genius. The strength of the Dragon Palace was considered top-notch even among the high-level races. After taking a few photos, he returned to the Dragon Throne in the Dragon King Palace. Then, he uploaded all the photos to the Universe Intelligent Computer in the name of the Dragon Palace and added some words. Dragon Palace. The Sacred Dragon Bloodline and these dogs want to unify the Divine Dragon Clan? A bunch of dogs wanted to unify the Divine Dragon Clan. Were they even worthy? You dare to come and destroy our Dragon Palace with just this kind of strength? Sacred Dragon Bloodline, not only have you degenerated into lackeys, but you're also a bunch of trash. The bloodline of the Divine Dragon Clan has been tarnished by you. If not for the fact that your Sacred Dragon Bloodline is located in the Angel Clan, our Dragon Palace would be able to exterminate you now. You dogs. That's it? When Wang Xian sent the message, his eyes were filled with coldness. He was filled with disdain for the Sacred Dragon Bloodline. Try, Mad 1, Gad 2, Catch X. The peak bloodline of the universe was completely tainted by them. Of all the things he could do, he just had to become a lackey. If the Sacred Dragon Bloodline wasn't in the lair of the Angel Tribe, Wang Xian would definitely have invaded their territory and annihilated them. However, this time, on the Universe AI, he was humiliated to the extreme. After receiving so many corpses and resources, Wang Xian was confident that he could wipe out the entire Sacred Dragon lineage. Even if the Angel Tribe might send their subsidiary tribes to help, Wang Xian wasn't too fearful of them. In a war, the Dragon Palace could improve rapidly. Their current strength was enough to protect themselves. The outbreak of war would only make the Dragon Palace stronger and stronger. After Wang Xian sent this message, he ignored it. He knew that the news of the Dragon Palace annihilating the experts of the Sacred Dragon lineage would cause an uproar in the chaotic world continent. And it was just as he expected. Wang Xian's message was accompanied by a bunch of photos. In the photo, the corpses of the light divine dragons were clearly visible. In particular, one of them was the corpse of the son of the sacred dragon. As the most outstanding son of the sacred dragon king, many experts recognized the son of the sacred dragon. Especially when the son of the sacred dragon led a group of experts to annihilate the dragon palace. All the experts and disciples of the various tribes knew about this. Many of them were waiting for the news of this battle. In their opinion, the dragon palace would be defeated in this battle and would escape. But when they saw Wang Xian's message, they were instantly stirred. What the heck is this for real? What's going on? The dragon palace actually posted such a message on the universe AI? These are the corpses of the experts of the sacred dragon lineage? The son of the sacred dragon led a group of experts to annihilate the dragon palace and was killed? How is this possible? How is this possible? 11 Third Order Universe Sovereigns and over 20 Second Order Universe Sovereigns. This force should be able to easily annihilate the Dragon Palace, right? What's going on? Over 30 Radiant Divine Dragon corpses were killed by the Dragon Palace? The picture in the middle is of the son of the Sacred Dragon. The son of the Sacred Dragon lineage was killed. How can the Dragon Palace be so terrifying? This is unbelievable. The experts of the sacred dragon lineage should have just arrived at the Dragon Palace not long ago. They were annihilated? Annihilated. Try, Mad 1, Gad 2. Catch X. On the universe's AI, all the living beings from the various organizations saw this sudden message and stared with wide eyes, filled with disbelief. The experts of the sacred dragon lineage were killed. Those over 30 corpses, over 30 radiant divine dragon corpses. This was completely out of their expectations. How strong was the Dragon Palace? How could the Dragon Palace be so terrifying? The Dragon Palace had just annihilated the 100 Cities Alliance not long ago. How could they hide their strength so well? This was unbelievable. Many experts couldn't believe it. 11 Third Order Universe Sovereigns charged into the Dragon Palace. In such a short time, more than half of them were annihilated. How strong was the Dragon Palace? Only 3 against 1 would have a chance to annihilate those of the same level. No wonder the Dragon Palace did not react to the Sacred Dragon lineage's attack. It seems like the Dragon Palace did not put the Sacred Dragon lineage in their eyes at all. The Dragon Palace's statement is awesome. They scolded the Sacred Dragon lineage as lackeys and trash. This Dragon Palace is so fierce. Indeed, they are too strong. I want to know how many experts the Dragon Palace has. On the universe AI, countless races and forces were dumbfounded. The Dragon Palace that could kill the son of the sacred dragon lineage and other experts was too terrifying. Such strength could be ranked in the top among the high-level races. They felt that this battle record was even stronger than the ancestral dragon lineage. Wang Xian's announcement caused the entire chaotic continent to be in an uproar. At this moment, other than the pinnacle races, all the other races would have to pay attention to the Dragon Palace. The Battle of the Dragon Palace and this announcement had shocked everyone. On the contrary, the sacred dragon lineage had embarrassed themselves greatly this time. A year ago, the sacred dragon king of the sacred dragon lineage killed the leader of the ancestral dragon lineage and announced that they would unify the divine dragon lineage. In the end, the son of the sacred dragon lineage had just annihilated a pinnacle expert of the ancestral dragon lineage and almost all of them died in the Dragon Palace. Moreover, the Dragon Palace had called the sacred dragon lineage trash and lackeys. This was a blatant humiliation. Chapter 3551. The experts of the sacred dragon bloodline were killed by the Dragon Palace. At this moment, other than the sacred dragon bloodline who were the most shocked and fearful, the ancestral dragon bloodline was the most shocked and dumbfounded. Especially the peak experts of the ancestral dragon bloodline. Not long ago they had just conversed with the Dragon King on the AI. The Dragon King wanted them to gather at the Dragon Palace. They did not agree because they did not have the confidence to fight against the Sacred Dragon King. When the Sacred Dragon Son led a group of experts to destroy the Dragon Palace, they had reminded the Dragon King to hide as much as possible. After the Sacred Dragon Son and the others entered the Eternal Heaven River, the peak experts of the ancestral dragon bloodline were paying close attention. They did not expect such an ending. This Golden Dragon King, how strong is the Dragon Palace? In the pictures released by the Dragon Palace, there were 5 corpses of Third Order Universe Sovereigns. Those were the peak experts of the Sacred Dragon bloodline. Out of 11, 5 were killed? Not a single Second Order Universe Sovereign was left alive. This is too terrifying. In the virtual communication space on the AI, the 13 peak experts of the ancestral dragon bloodline gathered once again. One of the demonic dragons looked at the Golden Dragon King and could not help but ask, "This? I don't know either." When the Golden Dragon King heard his words, he shook his head. His eyes were filled with a trace of confusion. Previously, they told the Dragon King about the strength of the sacred dragon bloodline and the ancestral dragon bloodline. At that time, the Dragon King was very confident that he could stop them. However, they did not believe him. Now that they saw the result, they were a little dazed. Did the Dragon Palace really need them with their strength? With such a result, they did not need the peak experts of the ancestral dragon bloodline to resist the sacred dragon bloodline, right? Of the 11 Third Order Sovereign Realm Radiance Divine Dragons, 5 had been killed. Ever since the ancestral dragon bloodline and the sacred dragon bloodline clashed, they had never killed so many experts. The strength that the Dragon Palace had displayed shocked them. What should we do now? Should we talk to the Dragon Palace and ally with them, or? A water dragon asked. The sacred dragon bloodline has lost so many experts to the Dragon King. Now, it is impossible for them to deal with the ancestral dragon bloodline. I think we should regroup and find a place closer to the Dragon Palace. Try, a mad one, Gad 2, catch X. A divine dragon suggested. His words made the group of mystical dragons fall into deep thought. The strength displayed by the Dragon Palace shocked them. Moreover, the Dragon Palace was not an enemy but a friend. They could totally take care of each other. After all, the sacred dragon bloodline was their enemy. I think it's possible. In the future, if anyone from the ancestral dragon lineage can break through the shackles and reach the Universe Lord realm, he will be the next leader of the ancestral dragon lineage. If one day a Universe Lord realm expert is born in the Dragon Palace, we can join the Dragon Palace. Our leader's goal is to restore the glory of the mystical dragon clan, not to stick to our so-called ancestral dragon lineage. The Golden Dragon King said as he looked at them. Alright, when our leader disbanded the ancestral dragon bloodline, it was because of this principle. Whoever becomes the universe dominator will be the king of our divine dragon clan. Let's first ally with the Dragon Palace. If the Dragon Palace really gives birth to a divine dragon at the universe dominator realm, we'll join the Dragon Palace. The group of peak experts from the ancestral dragon's bloodline nodded slightly. Golden Dragon King, come and contact the Dragon King. Convey our message. The Fire Dragon King said. The Golden Dragon King nodded and immediately sent a message to Wang Xian. These two treasures seem to be one. TSK, they can actually detect people with the divine dragon bloodline. Moreover, they are very accurate. Is this treasure used to deal with the ancestral dragon lineage in our Dragon Palace? At the same time, in the Dragon King Hall, Wang Xian looked at the treasures in his hands with a smile. 2 treasures that looked like rulers. The first ruler was obtained from the 100 Cities Alliance leader. The second was obtained from Sun Shenglong. Other than the inborn cardinal treasure, the double dragon eyes, this ruler was the most valuable treasure he had. The dragon-seeking ruler was just like its name. After sensing the effects of the dragon-seeking ruler, Wang Xian's eyes fell on the double dragon eyes in front of him. This should be forged from the dragon eyes of a divine dragon at the universe dominator realm. There was a terrifying power of light contained on it. The double dragon eyes had 2 very powerful uses. One was the light imprisonment of the void. Activating the double dragon eyes to observe the enemy, releasing thin lines of light to imprison the enemy. The second was the world of dragon eyes. The world of dragon eyes could be used for defense. It could also allow one to have an insight ability. Try, a mad one, Gad 2. Catch X. 2 powerful and mysterious abilities. Wang Xian could use this double dragon eyes and it could bring him a significant improvement. Wang Xian was prepared to refine it and integrate it into his dragon eyes. The reason why Sun Shenglong did not integrate it into his dragon eyes was because this double dragon eyes had already been refined by the Sacred Dragon King. In a sense, this inborn cardinal treasure belonged to the Sacred Dragon King. The Sun Shenglong could only unleash a portion of its power. Wang. Just as Wang Xian was about to refine the double dragon eyes, the Universe AI sent a message from the Golden Dragon King. After seeing this message, he smiled and replied directly. Regarding the decision of the ancestral dragon lineage, Wang Xian naturally had no objections. Currently, the ancestral dragon lineage was on the same side. Although the current Dragon Palace was not afraid of the sacred dragon lineage. But the sacred dragon lineage had the angel clan behind them. Having the ancestral dragon lineage as a comrade was extremely beneficial to the dragon palace. After refining it, I'll deal with the sacred dragon lineage. Wang Xian's eyes shone brightly. He was not a passive person. The Sun Xinglong had already charged over. Now that the ancestral dragon lineage and the dragon palace were at an irreconcilable stage. Since that was the case, he would strike first to gain the upper hand. Although he could not kill his way to the Light God Mountain directly, the disciples of the sacred dragon lineage were not limited to the Light God Mountain. With the dragon-seeking ruler in his hands, he could totally hunt them down. The other party had lost 6 pinnacle experts. Now there were still 13. Annihilating the sacred dragon lineage would bring about a huge boost to the dragon palace. Moreover, even if the angel clan sent their subsidiary races to help, Wang Xian was not afraid. Back then, the experts from the angel clan had killed him instantly. Wang Xian had always remembered this grudge. On the universe AI, the experts and disciples of all the forces were still discussing. They were discussing what the sacred dragon lineage would do next. They were discussing the current situation of the divine dragon lineage. And over at the Light God Mountain, the sacred dragon king was extremely embarrassed. His most outstanding son was killed, the inborn cardinal treasure was lost, and 5 pinnacle experts were killed. This time, the sacred dragon lineage had suffered a huge loss. Chapter 3552. The Holy Dragon King naturally knew everything about the universe AI. He also knew that the Dragon Palace was an insult to the sacred dragon bloodline. He watched on. Other than burning with rage, there was nothing he could do. The strength displayed by the Dragon Palace and the description of the Dragon King by his subordinates gave him a feeling. It was basically impossible for him to kill the Dragon King. It was even difficult for the current sacred dragon bloodline to destroy the ancestral dragon bloodline. Not to mention that the ancestral dragon bloodline would definitely ally with the Dragon Palace. It was impossible for the current sacred dragon bloodline to avenge his son and subordinates. His expression changed drastically and he took out a ball of light. He moved and the ball of light floated above him. He slowly knelt down. "Greetings, Master." He greeted the ball of light with unusual respect. Buzz. The ball of light trembled slightly and a 12-winged archangel slowly appeared. This was an abnormally young archangel with an extremely handsome face. "Tingguang, what's the matter?" The archangel looked down at the Holy Dragon King and asked calmly. "Master, the sacred dragon bloodline is in trouble." The Holy Dragon King knelt there with unusual respect and told him everything that had happened. The archangel's expression did not change at all as he listened to him. Why did a dragon palace suddenly appear? The archangel frowned slightly when he heard his words. Then he shook his head. "Forget it. This is also good news. Previously, when you killed the ancestral dragon leader, I received good news. Follow me." As the archangel spoke, the ball of light shone. The light enveloped the Holy Dragon King. The next moment, the Holy Dragon King appeared above an island. Chirp, chirp, chirp. Chirping sounds came from all around him. It was the cry of a phoenix. "This is..." The Holy Dragon King looked around and was slightly shocked. He quickly knelt down and bowed respectfully to the archangel in front of him. "Master." The young and handsome archangel in front of him was the Holy Dragon King's master. He was a son of the Archangel King, the 3rd prince of the Angel clan. A very terrifying existence. His power was definitely not something that Archangel Gabriel could compare to. "Try, Mad 1, Gad 2, Catch X. Follow me." The 3rd prince spoke plainly to the Holy Dragon King as he brought him to the center of an island. This was an incomparably huge island, and the island was surrounded by carvings of divine dragons. The sacred Dragon King surveyed his surroundings, his eyes filled with shock. It was his first time here, but he knew what this place was. The Dragon Island of the Divine Dragon Clan. The peak of the Divine Dragon race. Many divine dragons were scattered in the various oceans and lakes of the universe. However, most of the mystical dragons as well as the weaker ones, lived here. Dragon Island. This was one of the oceans of the mountains and seas. The Divine Dragon Clan, which stood at the pinnacle, occupied a place in the seas of the mountains and seas. Even the various star behemoths in the sea of the mountains and seas didn't dare to step into the territory of the Divine Dragon Clan. The sacred Dragon King surveyed his surroundings, his eyes sparkling. The current Dragon Island had obviously been occupied. And the one who occupied it was not the Angel Clan, but the Phoenix Clan, who had once had a very good relationship with the Divine Dragon Clan. As for whether they occupied this place to wait for the Divine Dragon clan to return to its former glory, or for other reasons, he had no idea. The Sacred Dragon King couldn't guess the affairs of such a pinnacle clan. "Third Prince, come in." A voice rang in their minds. Immediately after, the Sacred Dragon King sensed the changes in his surroundings. A majestic dragon aura rushed over. Under this dragon aura, the Sacred Dragon King seemed to feel the gaze of his ancestors. He immediately knelt on the ground. In front of him were 9 statues. Each statue represented a purebred divine dragon of a different attribute. The 9 divine dragons of different attributes weaved together, forming a sealed dragon gate. At this moment, beside the dragon gate stood an azure blue figure. There were some wings on the figure's back. Those were phoenix wings. The Phoenix clan didn't just have fire phoenixes. They also had water phoenixes. "Qingjiang, how confident are you in your guess?" The third prince looked at the azure blue figure and asked. "This time 50%. We just need to raise him to the Universe Lord level to verify it." The Qingjiang Aqua Phoenix glanced at the Sacred Dragon King and said plainly. At the side, when the Sacred Dragon King heard this, his body trembled. "Try, Mad 1, Gad 2, Catch X. It's very difficult to rely on external forces to break through to the Universe Lord level." The third prince frowned slightly. "This is your problem, third prince. Your angel clan will always have a way. Everything can be done at the same time. Let him unify the Divine Dragon clan first. I know about the Universe AI. The more purebred divine dragons of the Divine Dragon clan, the better." The Qingjiang Aqua Phoenix said plainly. The third prince frowned slightly and looked at her. "If the verification is successful, it will be very troublesome to nurture the other 8 attributes of the Universe Lord level divine dragons. There's no other way. There are only so many resources in the universe. Our actions are worth it. If you want to obtain the heart of light and darkness, you have to try." The Qingjiang Aqua Phoenix turned towards him and said plainly. The third prince fell silent. The Angel Clan. They were divided into 2 major clans. One was the Radiant Angels, the other was the Fallen Dark Angels. The Angel Clan had 2 great angel kings. The 2 great angel kings were brothers. The Angel Clan also had their Heavenly Yuan creation, the Light attribute Heavenly Yuan creation. The Darkness attribute Heavenly Yuan creation also existed today. This also meant that even if he exhausted all his opportunities in life, he could only reach his father's level. But he knew that there was a Dragon King in the Dragon Palace who had both the Light and Darkness attributes. If he had 2 attributes, he would have the opportunity to stand at a height even higher than his father. And that Dragon King's treasure, the heart of light and darkness, might be here. The Divine Dragon Clan's Dragon Graveyard. A place where even the Divine Dragon Clan perished and the Heavenly Yuan creation could not open. How could there not be treasures in such a place? Therefore they thought of every possible way to open it. Now, the Qingjiang Aqua Phoenix had some guesses from the blood of the ancestral dragon bloodline leader. And this possibility was very high. That was, using the 9 attributes, the Universe Lord level, and the purebred divine dragon blood as a guide to open this dragon gate. To obtain the treasures of the Dragon Palace. The only unsolved mystery of the Divine Dragon Clan's demise was that all the treasures of the Divine Dragon Clan had disappeared. It was very likely that they were here. If they could open it, the treasures inside might cause the Peak clans to be excited. After all, the Divine Dragon bloodline had the Heavenly Yuan creation. Chapter 3553. Sacred Dragon King lay in front of the Dragon Gate, listening to the third prince and Aqua Phoenix's conversation. He lowered his head, not daring to speak. At the same time, his eyes shone with excitement. From the third prince's conversation, Sacred Dragon King received a piece of news. That was, they wanted to raise themselves to the Universe Lord Realm. That was the Universe Lord Realm. Universe Lord Realm usually represented a peak race. His current strength was already very strong, invincible in the same realm. He even had half a foot in the Universe Lord Realm. However, he still had no confidence in breaking through to the Universe Lord Realm. At this realm, talent, bloodline, inheritance and the like were of little help to breaking through. Many experts were stuck at this stage, especially the experts of the peak races. The disciples of the peak races relied on their bloodline, physique and inheritance. With sufficient resources, it was not difficult for them to reach the pinnacle of the Universe Lord Realm. And the pinnacle of the Universe Lord Realm was the combat power of a third-order Universe Lord. However, every peak race had many such powerhouses. Less than 1 out of 10 could take this step. Now, they wanted to help him break through to the Universe Lord realm? Using a special method to break through? This made him extremely excited. Only by truly stepping into the Universe Lord realm could one be considered a peak expert in the universe. Alright, I'll give it a try. The third prince looked at Aqua Phoenix and nodded. To raise a third-order Universe Lord purebred mystical dragon to the Universe Lord realm. This was indeed very troublesome. However, with his identity as the third prince, he could still obtain some treasures that could aid in raising his cultivation. However, this was only to help. For such a breakthrough, unless it was assisted by a divine Yuan creation level expert, even a king of angels would not have 100% confidence in helping him break through. Fortunately, the Holy Dragon King's talent and current realm were very, very strong. He was comparable to the angel race's pinnacle Universe Lord realm experts. The possibility of him breaking through was very high. I'll leave this matter to you, third prince. After saying that, the Green River Aqua Phoenix's figure slowly disappeared. The third prince looked at Sacred Dragon King. With a wave of his arm, a beam of light enveloped them and they disappeared too. Try, a mad one, Gad 2. When Catch X appeared again, he was already inside a palace of light. The Holy Dragon King continued to kneel there respectfully. Later, I'll find some treasures to help you break through. In addition, I'll inform the other tribes to help you unify the Divine Dragon tribe. The third prince looked at the Holy Dragon King and spoke calmly. Thank you, Master, thank you, Master. The Sacred Dragon King hurriedly bowed with excitement. Yes, it's best to subdue the experts of Dragon Palace and Ancestral Dragon Bloodline. Don't kill them if you can. The Sacred Dragon King continued. Yes, Master. The Holy Dragon King replied respectfully. The third prince waved at him and said, Go back to your Ancestral Dragon Bloodline and wait for news. The Holy Dragon King stood up respectfully and flew outside excitedly. If he broke through, he would be the king of the Divine Dragon clan. He would be the strongest in the universe. This caused him to be extremely excited. I hope it doesn't disappoint me. Otherwise, I would have raised this dog for nothing. The third prince looked at the departing figure of the Sacred Dragon King and murmured. In fact, the third prince and the angel tribe did not take the Sacred Dragon bloodline seriously at all. To put it nicely, the Holy Dragon King of the Sacred Dragon bloodline was just a mount of the third prince. What was a mount? It was just a slave. It was just a dog. If not for the treasures of the Divine Dragon clan, the third prince would not have spent so many resources to nurture the Sacred Dragon bloodline. However, if he could unlock the treasures of the Divine Dragon clan, all these expenses would be worth it. Time passed day by day. In the Dragon Palace, after a few months, Wang Xian looked at his eyes with a smile. The pair of dragon eyes had integrated into his own dragon eyes. With this pair of dragon eyes, Wang Xian's strength had increased significantly. Next, let's get rid of the Sacred Dragon bloodline. Wang Xian murmured. He was prepared to use the dragon-seeking ruler to hunt down the disciples and experts of the Sacred Dragon bloodline. As for the Dragon Palace, there was nothing for him to worry about. Currently, the Ancestral Dragon bloodline had begun their great migration. Their destination this time was a place not far from the Eternal River of Heaven. That was the border of the Mountain Sea land. When the experts of the Ancestral Dragon bloodline were done migrating, the Dragon Palace would open a teleportation array to provide support at any time. As for the Dragon Palace, after killing the experts of the Sacred Dragon bloodline, the number of Third-Order Universe Sovereigns had reached 21. Try, a mad one, Gad 2. Even if Wang Xian left with the Aqua Tentacle King with the addition of the 13 experts of the Ancestral Dragon bloodline, it would be enough to withstand the attack of the Sacred Dragon bloodline. Even if the Sacred Dragon bloodline had helpers. Set off in a month. Wang Xian murmured. Holy Dragon King. More than 10 days passed. At the same time, 6 figures flew over from the Sacred Dragon bloodline on the Radiance God Mountain. The 6 figures represented the leaders of 6 powerful tribes. The tree man that looked like a tree represented the Heaven Plant Demonic Beast clan. The insect-like beings with wings of light were the Light Cry insect race. The one with a staff. The extremely old man represented the Shepherd clan. The Black Fog with the aura of life represented the Black Fog Spirit clan. The Ghoul clan had the body of a human with a mouth that occupied half of its head. The Radiant Giant made up of radiant stones represented the Giant of Light clan. The 6 major tribes were the subsidiary tribes of the Angel clan, especially the Shepherd clan and the Giant of Light clan. Their strength was exceptionally terrifying. These were the subsidiary tribes that had followed the Angel clan since the beginning of this era. Every single one of them was stronger than the sacred dragon bloodline. Moreover, even though they were from a high-level race and not a peak race bloodline, there were many mutated bloodlines and constitutions within their race. In terms of strength, they could still match the peak tribes. Dear leaders, I'll be troubling you next. When the Holy Dragon King saw them, his eyes lit up with excitement. He immediately cupped his fists respectfully. He had great respect for the leaders of these 6 tribes. Their strength was no weaker than the sacred dragon bloodline. Every tribe had their own innate cardinal treasure. If they were willing to help, unifying the divine dragon bloodline would be a piece of cake. We are under the orders of the third prince. Next, we will listen to your orders, Holy Dragon King, to unify the divine dragon clan. With our strength, we can easily help you complete the unification. In the middle, a white-haired old man who was about 2 meters tall said plainly with a 3-meter staff in his hand. You're tuning in to the Han Li's Wuxia Adventures YouTube channel. We're so grateful for your support, and don't forget to subscribe to join us on this incredible journey through captivating stories. Your generosity through donations truly makes a world of difference, as it's the primary source of revenue that allows me to expand and enhance this channel for you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for being a part of this adventure.